What is up, everybody? I'm Get Flanked, and today we got a bit of a surprise from Valorant. I don't think anybody was expecting another Valorant patch so soon after episode 2 went live, but here we are. We have the patch notes now for patch 2.01, and there's some big stuff in here. There is a nerf to Jett. We're going to go over that. There's some huge changes to Split. In fact, they're calling this, in their words, the Split Overhaul patch. So, yeah, we're gonna go through all that. I'm not gonna read everything word for word. I'm gonna give you my thoughts as we kind of go along here. But the first thing I want to go over is the Jett nerf, okay? And I do want to read this one because their explanation here is important, I feel, because this is kind of tricky. The way that they're nerfing Jett, it has to do with her smokes, and it's almost like they're nerfing Jett in order to buff the controller. So let me go through this. All right, here's what they're doing. They are decreasing the Jett's smoke duration from 7 seconds down to 4.5. And here's their explanation. In a continuation of the controller changes from patch 2.0, we felt it was important to consider Jett's smokes as well. In patch 1.0, we increased Jett's smoke duration to 7 seconds from the then 4 seconds, and we are partially undoing that now. We found that the result of that change was that Jett became a substitute for the controller role, and reasonably aggressive teams could make use of her cloudburst smokes to quickly take space without relying on a dedicated controller. This is part of a pattern of duelists superseding more utility-focused agents that we will continue to look at in the future. It's important that Jett can use her smokes to create temporary windows for the high-action plays that define her style, but those windows need to be brief enough to ensure that the controllers are where teams look for team-focused vision blocking. All right, this makes perfect sense to me. I get it, and this is actually something that I've been thinking about. I really feel like Jett's smokes lasting 7 seconds, basically, like what they're saying here, allowed people to pick Jett and feel like, okay, well, we have Jett. We don't need a brimstone. And, Jett does so much already when it comes to her kit and the ability for her to make plays. I don't think that having her as a mini controller was a good fit, okay? I think it was holding back those controllers that they mentioned here. And I like this change. I really do. Again, I like the fact that Jett can use her smokes to assist her in making plays, but I do think this nerf is going to prevent her from, taking one of those controller roles. So I agree with this patch. It makes sense to me. Let me know what you guys think down below. All right, getting into the Split updates, and there is a ton of stuff here, okay? So their wording here, this Split update is focused around improving attacker options on the map, as well as reducing 50-50 checks, the depth of certain corners, and opening specific areas on the map by increasing choke point widths. Okay, so they do a lot here to show us the old and new. You can see that on your screen right now. So this is coming out of garage into B, all right? And they increase the width of the B main doorway. Their wording here, this should make the space easier to navigate for attackers and make it more difficult for defenders to stall attackers on the choke point. There is a crate for attackers to utilize on the other side of the doorway as cover, which allows for utility to be thrown into the site from a new angle. And here you can kind of see that. On top of the changes to B main, there's also an additional trash pile placed in the corner to prevent defenders from hiding in too deep a nook. Okay, so here's the trash pile they're talking about right here. So this will prevent defenders from sitting right here. And you can see how much wider they're making the garage door. This crate right here, you can see it right here. This crate right here is going to be a big deal for attackers. And like they say, in deploying utility to open up this push, this is going to be a substantial change to the B push. All right. On top of the changes to B main, there's an additional, okay, we got that. Okay, so here is where they're kind of changing the stairs that come into B. Right here is like the B default plant. And yeah, you can see how they're kind of changing that corner. Interesting. All right, moving down here. They're putting 2 new boxes on B that this is coming out of garage from this side. This is the heaven. So this is B. That's going to provide a new plant location in their words. And I can see that. Yeah. So now instead of default, you'll have 2 defaults. And this will make, yeah, these changes are going to make B much easier for attackers. Okay. Moving on here. This is the CT path, I believe. And they're just making it a little bit more shallow here, so you don't have as deep of a corner to sit in here. Okay, I love it. Love it. Again, this is CT. And again, they're just making it they're taking this little cubby out of CT. Makes sense to me. All right. They're increasing with the vent room entrance. Again, makes sense to me. Make it a little bit tougher for defenders to hold that. They're also taking away this sharp corner. Look how they're taking away this sharp corner in vents. So if you're trying to come in here and clear this, you're not going to have a 90-degree angle to clear. It'll be a more gradual slope. That'll make it easier for attackers. Okay. All right. This is what? Market area, I believe is what this is called. And again, they're cleaning this up. Okay. And down here we have reduced depth of cubby and sewer to allow pushing through the space more safely. Okay, so if you're pushing through here as an attacker, you're not going to have as deep of a cubby here to clear before, pushing your way up to the ropes. All right. Okay, this is doorway in A tower, and they're making it significantly wider here. Interesting. Okay. All right. They're also taking away the depth of this corner down on the A site. They're taking away the 90-degree angle or the corner here in below heaven. Okay. All right. So that's all the changes to split. Really, really a lot of significant changes there. To me, the thing that really jumps out to me is the way that it seems to me like it's going to be a lot easier as an attacker to push into B. And that was always a really terrifying push to me. So this should help. I like this. I like this. All right. Moving on. A couple more things here to mention. All right. Competitive updates. Added the ability to hide custom game results from match history. Apparently some of the pros were asking for that. Makes sense. Social updates. The add friend button now exists for teammates only. And the option of adding enemy players has been removed. Okay. So this had to do... Okay, let me read this. Any teammates with privacy streamer mode enabled will not have the add friend button near their name. Okay, so basically there was a way that if you were running streamer mode, there was a way that you could, the add friend button would allow you to still see their name. So they fixed that. All right. Queue restrictions for AFKing in game and during pregame have changed. We want to make sure that folks having connectivity issues aren't harshly penalized, but those who are purposely AFKing receive harsher penalties. With that, we will be adding AFK forgiveness for a certain number of rounds, but repeated extended occurrences will be penalized with higher queue restrictions. Makes perfect sense. All right. So some bug fixes here. I'm not going to go through all those. All right. That's all we have as far as the patch notes for 2.01. Jett Nerf, big changes to split, some bug fixes, some quality of life improvements. Overall, good stuff. I don't know when this is going live, but I'll try to keep you updated on that. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you like and subscribe, and I'll have more coming your way here soon.